Again tonight, once again, tracking more stormy weather, sticking around for Memorial Day weekend. The holiday usually means the unofficial start to summer, but look outside, different parts of our state sure doesn't feel like it. This wet weather continues, as well as the threat of hail in and around the Denver metro area. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jennifer Meckles.
And I'm Mark Salinger. Not exactly the ideal holiday weekend weather that everyone was hoping for. We want to get right over to meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen with the latest conditions on the storms tonight, as well as what we can expect for tomorrow. Hey, Corey.
Hey, yeah, the storm pattern is going to stay pretty active, so we're going to see another round of thunderstorms tomorrow, but just isolated. Tonight, we have much more action still to go. As you can see the live radar picture right now, quite a few storms across the state. Some of the bigger storms are right in the Denver metro area. It is nice not to have the threat of severe weather for a change. We had 20 severe weather warnings last night, 17 on Friday. We have not had any so far, and we might get through the night without any warnings. The first wave here was probably the most likely to produce a large hail, and it didn't even come close, fortunately. Lots of accumulating hail, lots of rain, and lots of lightning with that one. We had some storms up here on the Front Range, on the northern Front Range so far as well. Not too much action there. So Memorial Day tomorrow, this is normally the day we kind of turn the corner into summer. Not exactly ideal conditions, 60 degrees, afternoon thunderstorms coming our way again tomorrow, but they'll be kind of isolated in nature, so nothing quite like today. Here's the rain forecast for tomorrow, your probability. We could get a little bit of a drizzle, maybe a couple of sprinkles early in the morning tomorrow, but really between 2 and 6 o'clock tomorrow. That's when the storms will roll through here. Got about a 40% chance of getting accumulating rain out of that system. So nothing like tonight where we have almost full coverage, everybody getting some stuff tonight, and there's still a lot more to go. I'll detail that coming up in the full forecast.
Corey, thank you. The storms are causing significant issues out at the airport right now. According to FlightAware, there are more than 800 delays at DIA today, also 11 cancellations. This follows a temporary ground delay that was just lifted about 15 minutes ago.
It wasn't a great day at DIA yesterday either. And also just a week ago, at this time, we were warning you about the threat of severe storms on the eastern plains. Later that day, the National Weather Service confirms there were 4 tornadoes that damaged homes and properties just east of Denver. Those storms also brought damaging ping-pong-size hail. The communities of Bennett and Elbert County were the hardest hit by these storms. Officials say in total, 25 homes and 17 other buildings were all impacted in those communities. Luckily, no people got hurt.
Tonight, 9 News reporter Janelle Finch checks in on the damage 1 week later. She caught up with a homeowner trying to figure out what to do next.
A week has given some people here in Bennett time to recover from last Sunday's tornadoes, but others have barely made a dent. Between the lines of this nightmare was once a dream. A dream Victoria Ketchen,
24 years,
had been living for more than 2 decades.
It's just heartbreaking. It's overwhelming. It's devastating.
A tornado took just minutes.
This is like the war zone.
To take everything away.
See, the ceilings caved in.
And what it left keeps her up at night.
There's a lot of not sleeping because your brain, you can't shut your brain down. You wake up and it starts thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
She says she spent each day since the storm in a borrowed trailer, surrounded by decades of life in disarray.
We've filled 6 dumpsters and we probably have another 10 to 15 more to go.
Ketchen says she and her partner Mark put everything they owned into their home. They built a barn together.
So this was where the barn was.
They had cars they shared.
I had a brand new Ford Bronco Sport. Just bought her. 2,000 miles. She's totaled. Scarlet.
Now they're waiting to find out what of their life they can hold on to.
We have a structural engineer supposed to come out on Tuesday to tell us if we can rebuild or if we have to demo it.
In the meantime, Ketchen hopes there's still time to dream, even if the dream looks different.
I'm going to have a tornado sale. I've decided. What else is she supposed to do?
The Adams County and Arapahoe County Sheriff's offices say 17 buildings near Bennett were damaged or destroyed from last week's tornadoes, including 6 homes. In Bennett, Janelle Finch, 9 News.
Colorado Springs police is investigating an overnight shooting that hurt 6 people. Officers there say they received a call for an active shooter last night on Potter Drive in the Springs. Officers found several people with gunshot wounds. All 6 people were taken to the hospital. 1 person suffered life-threatening injuries. Police believe the shooting started during an argument, but were not able to provide more details at this time. They have yet to provide any information on suspects as well.
We're learning new details tonight about a former school psychologist accused of sexually assaulting a child. Jeffco Public School sent a letter to parents this week saying there were drugs found on him when he was arrested. This is according to our news partners at the Denver Gazette. 38-year-old James Michael Chevrier arrested earlier this month on a few charges: sexual assault on a child under 15, soliciting for child prostitution among those charges. He'd been serving as a psychologist for Green Mountain High School and Bear Creek High School. Now, while his arrest affidavit is currently sealed, the district said he's in the Jefferson County Jail on a $250,000 cash bond. His preliminary hearing is set for June 11th.
A Texas man could spend the rest of his life in prison after a traffic stop on I-70 in Colorado led to a human trafficking bust. Kenneth Null was sentenced to 36 years to life. Prosecutors say that back in 2020, a Colorado state trooper pulled Null over and found 2 14-year-old girls in the car. The teens were posing as adults. One said that Null assaulted her the night before. Prosecutors say they were headed to Nevada to work as strippers. They allege Null was running a trafficking ring with victims advertised online nationwide. Colorado state law enforcement agencies will increase patrols for drunk drivers during this holiday weekend, and it'll keep going throughout the summer. Memorial Day marks the start of what they call the 100 deadliest days of summer. This is the period between Memorial Day and Labor Day when law enforcement agencies see a spike in car crashes and deaths on the roads during the summer months. CDOT says last year during that time, there were 71 deaths that involved impaired drivers.
Starting today, people who use RTD will have some more options when they want to ride. RTD is adding 27,000 more in-service hours this year compared to last. Some more buses, more trains, running longer hours, more frequent service. RTD says it's adding an N-line route every Friday night that will run northbound from Union Station. They're also reinstating the free Metro Ride service running every 10 minutes during weekday rush hours in downtown Denver. And as for the agency's slow track, RTD says it now has made some progress getting rid of 5,000 feet of slow zones across the E and the H lines.
We have 400 feet of slow zones remaining, and those will be removed by the end of this month. So customers can expect normal operations on the E and H line going forward.
RTD says they had a spike in hiring, which allowed them to add all these new services.
A Denver group is calling on the city to keep Larimer Street in Rhino closed to car traffic. The 2900 block of Larimer Street in Rhino was temporarily closed to traffic since the pandemic. It was closed as part of the city's temporary Outdoor Places program that encouraged expanding outdoor spaces to support local businesses during COVID and increase public spaces. The street reopened to car traffic back in February after the Rhino Business Improvement District chose not to renew the permit to keep it closed. According to protesters we spoke with today, the group has been doing sit-in protests every last Sunday of the month in an attempt to block the street. They started calling on the city and Dottie to protect the streets for cyclists and pedestrians to travel through.
We want to get out here and celebrate public spaces with our friends and have a good time. You know, advocacy is not all about being angry. Sometimes it's about coming out here and meeting your neighbors and making new friends and just having a good time.
So we reached out to the Rhino Business Improvement District. They tell us they recognize the passion on both sides and say they're committed to exploring future investments and mobility in communities that affect these types of things.